All right, we're playing a 1912 in a rated correspondence game. So we'll see if this game, how long this game will last. This is unlimited time for both of us, so this should be quite interesting. All right, is it my turn? Okay, it's my turn. It's an interesting opening. Goes for e3 and g3. He's probably going to put his bishop over here on this long diagonal. While I will take over the center with my D and C pawns. Let's see how he decides to proceed. Okay, right there. I think I'm just gonna play bishop to G4 and pin his knight. Maybe he won't see it and he'll move his knight. Probably go bishop G2. So in this game, we're simply gonna try to outplay him and just shuffle our pieces around and try to win a couple of his pieces, and that should be good enough. Let's see how he decides to proceed. Okay, he attacks our bishop. We'll go bishop here. So we're attacking his rook, and his rook has to move, which means he no longer has the ability to castle kingside. Our bishop isn't getting trapped, we're just making sure. We'll go... He's probably going to play bishop g2 next. Here, bishop g2. Here, d4. Maybe that'll work. Let's try it. The point is, if he takes, we'll fork these two pieces. And if he plays d4, attacking our knight, we'll take the bishop. He can take our knight there. And then we'll go bishop back. Or ideally, he'll take back on g2. And then we'll check on f3, and he loses the ability to castle at all, since he has to play king there. And maybe we just go for e6 or something like that. Okay. He voluntarily moves his king. I think we'll just go here. He says, "Oh, you are really good." We'll say we're okay. Okay. We pre-move this take since there was only one way to recapture. There was no other forcing line. He moves his rook, so his king can no longer castle. Our knight is a little far from where it was before, so we have to decide how to proceed here. I think knight to f6 is good. It's funny, we have a knight on f3 and a knight on f6. Any knight moves he makes, he's gonna attack our knights, so we have to be aware of that. But we should be doing just fine. None of his pieces are hanging at the moment. Okay, we'll go. Do we want to fee and kettle our bishop? We'll fee and kettle just for fun. Okay, he's attacking our knight. That was a discovered attack since he discovered it. We'll move our knight back. Our knight is safe, and if he goes d4, take, we can go either knight here, knight c4, knight to c6 is also good. Okay, he attacks our knight. Uh, we'll go back to c6. I can also go back here, but that's just not as good, I think. From our knight on c6 can jump to b4 at any given moment, or reroute to e7 to f5, and we'll have a nice minor piece. This bishop is kind of stuck back there. If I were him, I would play b3 and either bishop to a3 or bishop to b2. But at the moment, it only has one legal move, unfortunately for him. He can also play knight here and here, as he can't go to c3 since his other knight is there. And we'll just play bishop to g7 and castle. And he has a couple weaknesses with all these pawns pushed in front of his king. Um, his king should be very weak. Okay, he plays a3. I think just castling should be fine. Sorry, bishop to g7 and then castling. Castling is a little illegal at the moment. You could also try for some b4 in the future, where takes, and perhaps he gets the open a file, but he does have to add another defender, unfortunately for him. As at the moment, that would just lose a pawn. Yep, he's probably going to go there and there. From that square, he can go to g5 or to e5. Maybe I'll go d4 and try to provoke some sort of weaknesses, or perhaps even e5 should be better. I think e5 should be better, as it's a little more forcing. If I play d4, he can push. If I go here, he can't push. He can push, but not really, because I can just take that, and that's just a free pawn. Assuming here, after which I'll go knight to d7, so that we have three defenders to the e5 square. Okay, it looks like he is just gonna go for b5, so we'll go here. Or we can pre-move taking. If he goes b5, we'll take once, take another time here. He might go either e takes or g takes, and then I'll go knight here. knight to h5, and we'll be threatening a fork on the king and rook. All right, we'll have this pre-moved. Our correspondence rating is 1500. All of our other ratings are 2021. So we're not too bad. But we have a question mark because all of our moves are really suspicious. That's how bad we play according to the computer. It has to give us a question mark. Interesting move. Can I push here? Push, he goes back. Take. Can I go e5? e5 takes. You can't take back. I think e5 should be good. Yeah, I forgot his knight is also there. So we're just hanging a pawn here. Oh no, we hung a pawn. Hopefully he takes it. He does take it. And we mouse looped this accidentally. I meant to take. So after takes, he takes with this knight. Uh, we take here, and that's check, so he has to go back, and then we win the knight. So that was a mouse loop. This move should still be fine though. We're attacking his knight and his pawn. If he doesn't take, we'll take, and then his knight will be pinned to his queen. And if he takes, we can take with the queen or take with the knight. It should be good for us. How do we take? Let's take with the queen. This knight is not pinned at the moment, as this knight defends his queen. But if he does move it, we'll take the queen, and then we'll take the e4 pawn. So in this position, we're down a pawn, but we do have a safer king. Let's see. He's attacking our queen. We'll go queen here. I think we're just attacking that pawn. This pawn is also under attack. Okay, he's defending both of those pawns. Well, we'll go here. After he goes back, we'll attack his queen. And we'll see how he decides to proceed. Okay, so at the moment we're attacking his knight. His knight can go only to c3. That's the only square that he has. You can also throw in this move. I don't think after this move I can attack this knight. Um, so if he goes knight c4, perhaps he would have just gone back and maybe gone here. So he moves his knight back. Let's go knight to h5 first. I was going to play knight here, which attacks his queen, but I also don't want him to go here and trade. Although after that I can also just go here, and we're threatening to fork the king and rook and to just take back our pawn. Unfortunately, at the moment we're down a pawn, but the good thing that's going on for us is his king is on f1, and his king isn't necessarily safe, as he's pushed all the pawns in front of his king. So I think we're doing pretty good. He can't quite develop this bishop yet, and both of his rooks are stuck behind his pieces. They don't have anywhere to go, and our rooks can go to the d file, or mine could even just stay here in the case that he ever takes. In the case that he ever takes this pawn. Okay, he defends this. We'll go. I don't know what we should play. Let's see. If we go knight to d4, he takes. We take here. He goes king here. We take. He doesn't have to take this knight. He can simply move his knight away. Knight back, perhaps. And he should be doing fine there, as he'll come back around and capture our knight that's going to be stuck on this square. Let's go here anyway. If he takes, I think I might just take, and we're threatening this again. If there, do we take here first? He gets 2 pieces for a rook, I think. Okay, that should be a blunder. So we're gonna take that knight. After he takes back with his king, we're gonna go here and we're gonna fork his king and rook. And we have a we're up in exchange. So we have a knight. He has a knight while we have a rook for that knight. Um, if he takes back with the queen, we'll still play this move and we'll win his queen. So he should just take with the king and lose the exchange. Maybe my knight is also getting out alive, perhaps. It's something that we have to try to keep in mind, or rather, something he has to keep in mind. If king takes here, he goes here, here, check, there, he goes back. Okay, he can take that as his king is here defending as well. So yes, it should just be an exchange for us. Okay, so he decides to not take this knight. We can take this bishop. We can also take this pawn right here and then take right here, which I think is what we'll do. So the reason why we can take here is he can't take back because this pawn is pinned to his queen. So this should just be a safe capture. I don't think there's a way for him to stop that. Okay, he attacks her queen, but we saw it. Let's see. We can go here. And we're just up a piece. We have just an extra knight. So in this position, he decided to not take back and instead play king e1 to avoid the fork. But we're just up just a piece now. It should be a relatively simple game. Obviously, I can still mess this up. Such a good chess player that I am. But after taking, we can either take with the pawn or the bishop. I think we'll take back with the bishop. Maybe he'll play c3 after that. And this should just be game over for for him. And we'll see if he wants another game. Let's see what he decides to play here. I think there's too many moves to consider. He could develop his bishop. He can also move his knight. He can play c3. He can move his rook. I would move my rook because it's under attack. Really, the only score he has is here. Um, so that's what I would play. But I'm 1500 and he's not. He's 1900. So we'll see what he decides to play. Uh, that just hangs a rook. We'll take the free rook. He says, "Oh my God." Okay, he's attacking our rook. If we go rook to b8, he goes here and he's forking our two rooks. So we'll just go to this open file and won't allow him to do that. Um, if he goes knight here, I might just take and then take this pawn and we're up a couple pieces. We're up a piece or two, I think. Okay. Let's see what we decide to play here. There's a couple ways to play this. I don't necessarily need my rook at the moment. I'll go here though and attack this pawn. And this should just be game over, I think. He can't even attack our... He can't even move his king now that I think about it. He can't go here, he can't go there. He couldn't go here because of the knight. He couldn't go to any of these squares because the rook was there. Okay, if he goes there, what do we play? Okay, our bishop is going to be hanging. It's important to note that after king here, our bishop is under attack. Let's see, what do we play here? We can go bishop all the way back. We can also go here. Our rook is defended. And if he goes here, we'll just go bishop here and trade this bishop. So we're up a piece and a knight, a piece and a rook. So what I mean by piece is a minor piece. And this is just completely winning. He's attacking our rook. We'll let him take that as we don't need it anymore. We're doing just fine. You can also go here and attack our pawns. In reality, we don't need to be too accurate. Okay, he decides to check us. That's fine. That's legal. That's one something. If he goes here, maybe we'll just take. Okay, he resigns. We'll play one more, maybe. I think we're rated 2076 now. We're white. We'll play e4. Okay, he plays the French. D4 is common. This was my game against Grandmaster Eric Hansen. Okay, he does a early queen move that attacks my e4 pawn and has some idea of bishop. Or if I hadn't played d4, bishop here, and this would just be game over. But we see the threat, so we're gonna address it. We'll go here. If he goes bishop there, we'll go queen here. He'll take. We'll take with the pawn. And we have double T pawns, but maybe we can use the B file. And we're already. This rook is going to be more active than either one of his rooks. And then we'll quickly develop and castle and maybe take advantage of this weird opening. I'm assuming knight to f6. You can also play knight to c6. We'll go knight here. Okay, he decides to play b6. He's going to get his bishop either here or here. We'll attack his queen first. Maybe he won't see it. Okay, he saw it. We'll go bishop here. Put our bishop on this long diagonal. Note if he goes bishop here, attacking our queen and attacking our bishop, we'll simply play c4. And if he goes d5, we'll take, and then we'll check. And once again, this should be slightly better for us. Probably not winning, but better, since we haven't wasted any moves with queen here and queen back, as he has. Okay. He stops our bishop. Well, here I have here. We can throw in a check if we'd like, but I don't like, so I won't. We'll go queen here, get our queen off of that diagonal. Okay, he goes c5. We can take. We can even. We might be able to take twice and have some fun, but it's too risky. We'll put this rook on the same file as this queen. We'll see how he likes that. Here as black, I would probably just go knight f6. He can also go knight c6. He has to be aware that at the moment I'm trying to take this pawn. After he takes, I would take his queen. So if he goes over here attacking my bishop and attacking my c3 pawn and the a2 pawn, the best I could do is here, or I can even actually take. Yes, I can take this pawn now, as we got two attackers, and if he goes here, no defenders to the d6 pawn. We'll pre-move that capture, as if he does take our bishop, the only way we can capture the queen is if he does do that. Okay, he goes d5. So stopping that pin, we can take. If his knight takes, we can check, or rather, we can check with the bishop, obviously. And if bishop there, then we'll take this, and we'll have a really crazy game. His bishop will be pinned to his queen. His e pawn will be pinned to his king. His bishop would be pinned to his king as well. That's going to be a very interesting. Okay, he goes bishop to d7, and we'll take here. So at the moment, his e6 pawn is pinned to his king. His bishop is pinned to both his queen and his king. And we have this bishop just not allowing him to castle. He's just completely lost in this position. And at the moment, that was a free piece, I believe. That was a knight that we just took. He does extreme smiles. He basically has no move at the moment. He can't really do much. He can't develop this knight, as if he goes to c6, we'll just take, and once again, this is pinned to both his king and queen. So if he takes my bishop, again, I just take this. He can't go here, as that's just a free piece. He can't move this rook. It's stuck behind his pawn and his knight. He can't go here. My bishop's there. His rook can go back and forth. That's good. So maybe he'll run me out of time, even though we don't have time in this particular game. He said, "You're too good." This should just be game over. Perhaps, though, perhaps we'll try to play on, but what is there to play for? I'll pre-move that once again. The reason why I can pre-move it is because this bishop is pinned to his queen, but he can move it. He can move it in this direction because you're allowed to lose your queen in the game of chess. This is what he's looking at the moment. Maybe queen here. Takes. He doesn't have much. He doesn't have anything to do. Yep. Just as I say that, he plays it. Can I take here? Queen takes. If I take and he takes. Alright, we'll take here. If he goes knight there, we'll just castle. Castle should be fine. He can castle queenside, that's funny. We'll go here. We have to be really careful because our rook is under attack. That's just a trade, so that's a bishop for a knight. You can take that. Maybe we'll even sacrifice here. No, his queen is facing, is defending backwards. He can castle now after moving his queen, but it's not necessarily the best position there is. We'll go here. He decides to trade queens. I can take like this, but then he goes f6. After which I would probably be able to take here. As if he goes there, maybe I can go there and attack his rooks, but I don't want to risk anything. So we'll just trade queens and we'll win this position since we're up a piece and we're up a pawn as well. Okay, he goes right there. We're gonna bring our rook to the open file. We can't go to the d file as his rook is there. We just have to be careful because if we move our rook out of this out of the back rank, we could get checkmated. We'll go here. So we're attacking the f7 pawn. We'll see if he goes f6. If he goes f6, we'll go here. And then if he goes here, he's threatening to go rook to d1 and checkmate us. And we don't want to get checkmated. Here, we can either go here or here. I think we'll go here for now. If he goes there, we'll take this pawn. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. We'll make lift for our king so that we don't get checkmated in the back. And here we'll force him to play rook to d1. So this is a fork, but since he can check and take with check, he doesn't necessarily lose an exchange. But we do force him to trade down in an already losing position where he is where he's down material, and we want him to trade as much as possible. Okay, he goes h5. We'll go here. We're attacking this pawn. We're not winning. We're not threatening to win it yet. But we'll go knight to c5 and attack both of these pawns. Okay, I'll probably go rook here and defend both of the pawns. If he goes rook to d6, we'll go rook to d3 and try to bother him with a trade. This knight is going to be much stronger with no other piece defending against it. It's harder to win a rook and knight versus rook than it is to win knights against nothing, against just a couple pawns. Here we can take either pawn. I think I'll take this one. If he goes king up, we'll go here and we'll fork the king and the g6 pawn. Okay, he's attacking our a pawn. Well, I don't think there's a way for us to be able to defend it. So I think we'll just go ahead and attack this pawn. If he takes it, maybe I'll just go here. He can't go here as our knight defends and our rook is defended. If he goes here, we'll take this way and then we'll take this pawn. Okay. We'll go here. He's going to try to promote this pawn, but we'll bring our rook behind that pawn. Okay. And finally, we'll just bring our knight closer so that we can stop him from promoting. If he goes here, we'll go here, and we're attacking his rook and defending our rook. And if he goes here, then we'll just start pushing our own pawn. Okay, we'll trade pawn for pawn. And here we're up 3 pawns and a knight. This is just completely winning. With this move, we're also defending our c3 pawn. We could just push this h pawn and promote to a queen. He says it has no sense for me. Hopefully I know how to spell appreciate. Is that it? And maybe we'll see maybe this will be a resignation. We're playing against somebody that I know. This is their sister, Anna. And I think he's from Poland. He's gonna tell her that I'm a chess master. Okay, that works for me. All right. I think he's in Czechoslovakia, so we'll wish him a good night. It should be maybe like 7 o'clock there. All right. We'll go to analysis. We'll see how bad we played. I think the computer says this is completely winning. From about this point on, I think we were winning the whole time. According to the computer, we have no mistakes or blunders, just a couple inaccuracies. We'll go from the very top. E4, E6, this is the French defense. The most common move is D5. My game against the Grandmaster went D4, D5, E5, C5, C3, and this is a position where where black fights to undermine these pawns in the center, and where white tries to defend. They go queen b6. So if at any point you take, this pawn is also just weak. Bishop here. If you take, take, take. This is a very common trap. We'll take the bishop and then we'll take the queen. So he didn't go for that. He decided to play a queen to h4 on move 2, and this attacks this f2 and e4. Knight c3 is fine. The move bishop d3 is also good. Queen d3 is probably good as well. The computer says e5 is also good, where our pawn is defended by our queen. Here, according to the computer, bishop to d3 is good, or queen d3, e5 is also good. Queen d3 is one of the inaccuracies. Okay, he goes b6. The computer says this is fine, but black is already much worse, as we completely have a domination of the center, and the black lost two tempo with his queen. So with this move, we're developing our bishop and trying to stop him from castling. He blocks, and then we just proceed to play very aggressively. According to the computer, castling queenside is good as well. That's something that's I don't think I'll ever consider. Uh, the computer says rook d1 is an inaccuracy. Castling queenside was better, but this is also just fine. Here I could take on c5. Once again, he can't take back because that's just a free 2 pieces for a queen, which is okay, but in this particular position, this is losing. Here I can just take this pawn, and as the computer shows, once you go there, you can't really take anything because you just lose your queen again. Okay, computer wants me to play queen to g5 here. Bishop or rook takes on d7 is also good. Here I could have also just taken. This would have been good as well. After taking, he takes. We go knight up, and we just gain an initiative where our pieces are surrounding the black king. Okay, so we decided to castle, which is, I think, in my opinion, better from a human perspective, as I can't attack as well as the computer can. And that was just a trade. And from this point on, we just started to trade a lot of pieces, and uh, we just completely outplay our opponent from this moment on to where we trade, and he decides to resign. Let's take a look at the other game. Let's go to the analysis board. This game we went up 576 points. Let's see what the computer says. I think we played relatively well. Okay, we had one blunder. According to the computer, taking was better. We have two blunders. Wow, okay. Here, taking was also good. Maybe even a different move order would have been better. But that just places the rook in an awkward position on g2. We have one mistake. Here we could have gone rook to e1. But other than that, we played relatively well. So I think we're pretty good. Pretty glad with our performance.